Water. It's essential for life. But it can be devastating to lives. Lying directly in the floodplain of the mighty Columbia River, the second largest river in the United States, in a region marked by heavy rainfall, Oregon's Columbia Corridor is defined by water. Going about their daily lives, residents of this area pass by the obscure structures that control this water. Cars, trucks, and bikes share a levee that holds the Columbia at bay. A pumping station quietly removes stormwater. The Columbia Slough meanders through a golf course. Rarely noticed, these common sights become part of the landscape. But these levees, dikes, and ditches are crucial elements in a system of flood control and stormwater drainage for this low-lying area. Without them, the Columbia Corridor would be very different. Since 1917, Peninsula Drainage Districts 1 and 2, the Multnomah Drainage District 1, and the Sandy Drainage Improvement Company have been responsible for this system. Lying at the lowest point in the area, the districts also receive and manage stormwater from the surrounding watershed. In all, the districts are responsible for stormwater from 1/4 of Portland's entire street system. Continual vigilance by all 4 districts makes it possible for people, business, and nature to thrive here. Celebrating a history of innovation and improvement, of constantly refining methods and equipment to ensure the protection of lives and property. The Columbia Corridor Drainage Districts are tested and ready. Back in the early 1900s, the Columbia River flooded this area every year. Beginning in 1915, local farmers in the area, now served by the Sandy Drainage Improvement Company, sought control over the flooding to allow year-round cultivation of the fertile soil.
It was a tidal swampland back then. Seasonally during the spring freshet, as the water came up, it overflowed into this area and it'd be inundated.
Farmers wanted to reclaim for year-round use agricultural land here in the Columbia Corridor.
Back then, or believe it or not, there's probably only maybe 10 people, and they owned all this.
Here's a city of Portland that's growing. Population, they're going to have produce. You've got great soil here. The farmers are recognizing that, and they're growing products for part of the year. You know, if we build these levees, close off the Columbia River so it can't get in, we can farm this year-round.
Stayed agricultural for many, many years until about the 60s. Some of the agricultural lands started to turn into industrial commercial properties.
The success of the drainage district in protecting the Columbia Corridor, expansion of the airport, and completion of the I-205 freeway in 1982 led to a transformation on the south bank of the Columbia. A significant portion of the land that had once been usable only for seasonal agriculture was now designated an industrial sanctuary. A massive boom of industrial development began. Today, the Columbia Corridor is considered the largest industrial area in the state of Oregon. Several residential areas have also grown rapidly within the floodplain. This transformation in land use has made the role of each of the 4 drainage districts even more critical and more difficult.
The change in the land use has complicated the district's mission by quite a bit. 15, 20 years ago, when we had a heavy rainstorm, it hit the bare soil, grasses, and it could percolate in or run off slow and go to the ditch and it'd get to us in 3 days.
And there is so much impervious area now, so many rooftops and asphalt parking lots and concrete and everything.
Now with all the development that we have out here, and development looks at about 80% of impervious of this whole ground. So that means the water hits that and runs right off against the ditches and it gets to us within hours.
There's constantly water coming into our system all the time where we can pump year-round now just because there's that much water coming into the system.
By the numbers, the flood protection and drainage system now consists of over 30 miles of levees, continually certified by the Army Corps of Engineers and FEMA to protect against a 100-year flood event. In addition to levees and dikes, those systems include over 35 miles of sloughs and ditches and 11 pump stations with a combined capacity of 1 million gallons per minute. Protected inside the levees are nearly 13,000 acres, over $20 billion worth of commercial property, 2,500 businesses, 60,000 jobs, and hundreds of homes throughout the 4 drainage districts. There's a lot at stake here: safety, livelihoods, quality of life, a legacy for coming generations. The districts look forward to the next 90 years of serving as a caretaker and a sentinel of doing the critical, everyday work of protecting lives and property in the Columbia Corridor, of keeping the drainage districts tested and ready.